At the Upstate Canine Academy, we are about to start a session with a golden retriever with reactivity issues. This dog is great with other dogs off leash, likes other dogs off leash, but on leash, this dog does not like other dogs. A lot of you out there probably deal with the same thing. So in this episode, we're gonna break down leash reactivity, why it's created, and some exercises on how to figure out if your dog is leash reactive or actually aggressive. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna get started. Hope you guys enjoy it. Man, that's a wicked growl. Watch his back up just a little bit. Good. Yeah. Whenever he gets into a situation like that, yeah. Okay, all right. I want you to correct him for that. Okay. Because just from now on, we'll just correct him for that. Here, let me see the leash for a second. So we're just, obviously there's a variable of like hue. You have to try to figure out the stem of why he feels that way. I mean, obviously he loves you, you have a great relationship with him, he wants to protect you. A couple things about his behavior that we're watching is when he is doing that, it's low and then his bark is very like a fear-based bark. Good heel, buddy. Now he's like, now I protect you, human. With him being reactive to other dogs, it's on the leash. With him being reactive to people, it's on the leash. And it's very easy to say, oh, it's leash reactivity, and it's commonly called that. But at the same time, if you go one step further and dive a little bit deeper, it's actually just because you're on the other end of it. It's good because you know, like, oh, he's capable easily of disengaging, disarming, and not being reactive. It's just trying to figure out, what do you guys do to stop him from being reactive, and what do you guys do stop him from being possessive of you? And that's what we're going to talk about right now. It's very pretty. Very pretty. The why, you know, we got to figure out the why. Because ultimately, if we correct him and we tell him to stop, yeah, it's going to be a suppression. It's going to be a Band-Aid. He's still going to feel the need to want to bark, but he won't, which is better than him barking, to be honest. But in this case, we want to eliminate the external, like, hey, I'm looking really mean because I want you to get away. When you're handling him, I want you to be a little bit more, have a little bit more momentum of like what you're doing. What I want you to do is, when you're handling, a lot of people, including what you were doing with Legend, is we go, let's go, and then we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, and he's doing actually really good, but we're looking a lot. But it's not really so much about what he's doing on the leash, it's about what the information you're presenting and how you're presenting it. What you're doing is you're really just waiting for him to, you know, basically mess up, or you're watching for him to see if he messes up. And what happens is when you're here and he's looking up at me and I'm looking at him, then who's driving the ship? Which then he'll go, okay, I don't really feel that confident here, which will then make him feel like he has to protect you, or he should protect you. Or you're giving him an opportunity to protect you because you're not as in charge as you should be. Things to better your handling and to get more confident with him and to raise his confidence levels. Use your momentum. So when you're doing this, Legend heel, I want you to just really pay attention to where you're going and what you're doing. Heel, good, we're going this way. But you see how like my body language it's clear of where I'm going, what we're doing. So my shoulders are straight, I'm not looking at him. The only time I'm saying anything to him is if I ask him to heel or I want him to sit or something. But this is where I want you guys to be. So slow down a little bit. Because he's going to do that. Okay. So what you want to do is proof out your healing and proof out your engagement to make sure he's paying attention to you. Okay. So the slower you go, the more he'll understand that. Yep. So see how you're, yeah. I hold it in 2 places. Yeah, darn. You already know. Oh, yeah. So take the leash, and what I would do is hold it just like this.
Like that way?
Yeah. And the reason why is because that if you have 2 separate locations of information, because the leash is your information, it's going to get diluted. So if I wanted you to say something to Eddie, I'd give you information, you relay it to him. And then at some point it's going to get diluted pretty much immediately. So you want to make sure that, and I understand, like more control, we feel more confident, but then your brain you know, and I micro it down as much as I can. Your brain is like focusing on two different things, and it doesn't give you an opportunity to fully relax. And